So quarterbacks get hurt all the time. And you have to use a backup quarterback. Sometimes, like San Francisco last year, you get to a third quarterback. Or this year, the New York Giants. You're on a third quarterback. That's the reality of the NFL. Right? You know, even the great ones. Lamar Jackson's been banged up. Now Justin Herbert's out. Joe Burrow's out. Using a backup quarterback is a reality. Over 50 quarterbacks going to play this year. So Zach Wilson. Let's take the two New York teams. Zach Wilson is a number 2 pick. Big-time talent. Has a number 1 wide receiver. But he's got a defensive head coach. Now, he had a nice weekend this weekend, but his numbers on the year with a defensive coach, because he was inserted into this lineup as a backup to Aaron Rodgers. 60% completion percentage, 78 passer rating, 7 touchdowns, 6 picks. Tommy DeVito, undrafted, is the third quarterback being used. He's a third stringer. May not be in the league in a couple of years. No number 1 receiver with an offensive coach. 67% completion percentage. A passer rating at 106, 7 TDs, 1 pick. And last night, it's happening all over the league. The Colts, Cleveland's on their 4th. The Giants, a defensive coach has to use a backup. Disaster. Embarrassing. Man overboard. An offensive coach has to. Wins and productive. 11 of the 14 playoff teams this morning have an offensive head coach. Brian Daboll has won a game with 3 average quarterbacks. Maybe below average. Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, and Tommy DeVito. Minnesota, Cleveland, Cincinnati, the Colts, all using backups and all viable. I mean, Tommy DeVito's on a heater. What the hell's going on? Mike Tomlin, defensive coach, gets Mitch Trubisky, a first-round pick, made the playoffs twice. Unwatchable. Mac Jones, first-rounder. Bailey Zappi, New England. Unwatchable. Turn the TV off. Chargers, hire a defensive coach. Justin Herbert has regressed. I mean, come on. Why is this happening? Because in the last 20 years of the NFL, it doesn't even look like it looked like 20 years ago. Offensive coaches are defined by their innovation. It's their life. It's their lifestyle. Constantly adapting, constantly evolving. That's what you have to do to survive and get better jobs as an offensive coach. There is no same old thing. It doesn't exist. You are judged against Shanahan and McVay. You're judged against offensive guys every week. You're not as smart, not as much motion, not as many bunch sets. You have to adapt or die as an offensive coach. And that's exactly what Brian Daboll has done this year. He's had complete, utter quarterback disruption. Doesn't matter. They don't have a number 1 receiver. Doesn't matter. The right tackle they loved didn't play. Doesn't matter. This is what offensive coaches do. San Francisco last year. Trey Lance played. Jimmy Garoppolo played. Brock Purdy played. They got to the NFC Championship. They may have won it. They just ran out of quarterbacks. I mean, they just ran out of quarterbacks. Sean McVay won a game last year. Baker Mayfield had 1 practice. Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell won a game this year with Josh Dobbs. They had no practices. You give a defensive coach a backup quarterback situation, it is man overboard. Seattle right now, 4-game losing streak. Steelers unwatchable. Patriots ditto. Brian Daboll's got Tommy DeVito on a heater, and it's Daboll. It's Shanahan. It's McVay, Kevin Stefanski, Arthur Smith, Kevin O'Connell, Shane Steichen, Zach Taylor, time and time and time again. So you owners and GMs, take a good, hard look at last night. It is happening all over the league. Defensive players are getting bigger, stronger, more violent, right? Bigger, stronger collisions, faster collisions, more stars getting hurt. What side of the ball is your coach? Because he's going to have to go to a backup. Even the big guys. Herbert's now hurt. Lamar Jackson, the fast guys, he got hurt last 2 years. Matt Stafford, big, strong guy. He's been banged up. With an offensive coach, you can still be productive, you can flourish, you can be competitive. What Brian Daboll's doing is pretty remarkable. One with Daniel, one with Tyrod, winning with Tommy DeVito. You do not see that on the defensive side very often. You see it weekly in the NFL on the offensive side. What a fun game. All right, let's talk Miami Dolphins. I can't quit the Dolphins. You guys wonder why I don't trust the Dolphins. They're the spray tan of the NFL. Great briefly, then eventually disappear. I mean, it just cracks me up. But I still think they're a good team. Last night was a disaster. But they're 8-0 when Tyreek Hill has over 100 yards. And there's a lack of good corners in the NFL. So Tyreek Hill is going to have over 100 yards a lot. Last night he got banged up. They're 1-4 when he doesn't. But I mean, Miami at home last night, this is why I have so much doubt about Miami, but I still can't quit them because they were even gifted 2 touchdowns by Tennessee. Not a very good team that hadn't won a road game. They muffed a punt by the Titans, just a mess. So you get a cheap one there, and then that bad pitch play, you get another one. So Miami leads 27-13 with 4:30 left against a rookie second-round quarterback, a last-place team that doesn't have a road win. And they vomit all over themselves. This is what Miami does. They're the flashiest offense in the NFL. It is an offensive league. They have the fastest receiver on the planet. They have a more than capable, accurate quarterback and a brilliant offensive coach. What am I supposed to do with last night? You don't think they're going to win the rest of the year? It's just why I've had so many doubts. They're the speedboat. Waters get a little rocky. Get on your life preserver. It's not going to be pretty. But I can't quit them because they're fast, they're unique, and they have matchup issues that, I mean, you just have to be honest here. Tyreek Hill good, 8-0. And how many teams match up with him? I mean, the Jets have good corners. Denver's got a really good one. But there's a huge shortage in the NFL. A lot of GMs now around the NFL, they don't want to draft corners high. It doesn't matter anymore. You can't defend, you can't touch, you can't stop great receivers, so why waste a first, second round pick on a cornerback? I mean, the Dolphins are the perfect team for Miami. A lot of speed, a lot of, you know what I mean? A lot of flash, a lot of fun. They don't have a second pitch. The defense was not good at the end of the game, although Vic Fangio's a very good coordinator. The offense, though, let's be honest, you can blame the Miami defense, but they're spending their money on mostly offense, and so the offense has to get first downs, and this was a physical team in Tennessee, and they don't do terribly well against physical teams. I've seen it time and time again. But am I supposed to quit them? I can't. I look at the AFC right now. I kind of like Kansas City. I really like Baltimore. I don't know what I get from Buffalo, and Miami can blow you out if they're a favorite. They got a little Dallas Cowboy feel to them without the defense and without the toughness. I mean, they vomited all over themselves. It happens. This is a long season. I mean, it was, it's just crazy stuff happens, and that was crazy. But would you be shocked if they won a couple of playoff games? Not really. I wouldn't. AFC's not as good as I thought. I wouldn't.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.